Hello and welcome to BrookesTV. I'm Mandy Miller.
And I am Mohammed Hatamli. Coming up in this week's episode, we met 6-year-old Charlotte Knott, who is a survivor of Meningitis B.
An in-depth look at multi-faith Oxford.
Why are there no car parking spaces in Jericho?
But first, our top story today is about the vaccine against the deadly form of meningitis B that has now been recommended to the government by the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunisation. 6-year-old Charlotte Knott is a survivor of this often deadly disease. Just to warn you, this report by Ep11 contains an image some viewers may find shocking.
6-year-old Charlotte Knott lost both of her lower arms and legs in December 2010 after contracting meningitis B and septicemia. We spoke to her mother, Jenny Daniels.
I ran to the kitchen, got the glass, did the glass test, rolled it over, and then I called an ambulance.
Meningitis can be a deadly illness which sometimes comes with a rash. The glass test can help to know whether your child has it by pressing the side of a glass firmly against the skin. If the rash does not fade under the glass, medical help is needed.
So thinking about it now, it just feels like it didn't happen, and don't go to that place very often. I like to think about the present and where I am now, where Charlotte is now.
Last month, the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunisation recommended that the meningitis B vaccine will be added to the NHS vaccination programme.
Oh, beautiful, thank you.
You know, I'm very happy. It's bittersweet for lots of families, because I know personally families that have obviously lost their children, and you know, it must be very hard for them. For me, you know, it's a very positive thing. I can't look back and say I wish this was available 4 years ago for Charlotte, because you just cannot live like that.
Since the illness, Charlotte has been back to a hospital many times, has had further operations and suffered many infections. But despite her disease, Charlotte has made exceptional progress and is a cheerful, positive girl who loves her bicycle. Meningitis B is the leading cause of death from infectious disease in children under 5 in the UK. Of the estimated 1,870 cases of meningitis B each year, about 1 in 10 of those affected will die. The disease can kill within hours. There is a vaccine against the deadly form of meningitis B, but is it cost effective? We spoke to Andrew Pollard.
So the UK is the first country to make a recommendation for the vaccine to be included in the schedule. But that's not the final step in actually starting to use it. There's still work that has to be done by the government in negotiating a price with the company for the vaccine to see if a cost-effective price can be reached.
An appeal was set up for Charlotte as the overall lifelong cost is huge. Charlotte has to have privately made artificial legs at the cost of £6,000. As Charlotte grows, she will most likely need further surgery on the bones in her legs.
She's very happy. She just enjoys life. She wants to do everything like everybody else. But the actual key thing is money, because what we found out in the last 3 years is that we need money for Charlotte to have the best prosthetic limbs that are not available on the NHS and are currently being developed. So in 15 years' time, there'll probably be some excellent, limbs available. But if they're not available on the NHS, then they're not available to Charlotte.
Until now, there's no commitment yet to when the first baby gets the meningitis B vaccine for free. This is Ep11, Brookes Television.
We are now just back from Easter holiday. As we tend to forget, Easter is not only about chocolate eggs, but traditionally a Christian celebration. An occasion to think about how the different faiths coexist in Oxford.
One of the largest religious groups in the city is Islam, with more than 10,000 people practicing the faith. There are 6 mosques in Oxford, and with one more about to open. According to the 2011 census, 5% of people in England call themselves Muslim, so Oxford is above the national average, as 6.8% of the city are Muslim. When you look at the whole of Oxfordshire, there are nearly 17,000 people practicing Islam, so we sent our reporter Adele Dashi to speak to one of Oxford's imams.
Church bells, a sound that we all know. For most of us, it appeals to our ancient religious culture. In Oxford, as in many European cities, most people are Christian. Celebrations like Easter are thus widely commemorated. On this Good Friday in Summertown, a Muslim group has decided to highlight in their prayer ceremony the relationships between Muslims and Christians.
If we expect them to respect Eid al-Adha, Eid al-Fitr, we need to respect Christmas and we need to respect Easter.
Due to the lack of mosques in the area, the members of MECO, the Muslim Educational Centre of Oxford, pray every Friday in this church hall.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim.
That's not a church, obviously, but that belongs to the church. Does that change anything?
No, I mean, you must get away from this idea. It doesn't matter who owns it. We hire the premises and we have Islamic prayers here. That's the end of the story. It's nothing to do with who owns it, because Christian or Jewish or atheist or Buddhist or Hindus owning it. It's got nothing to do with it. We've been doing this for 10 years in this building. Do you see any sign of a Christian church?
Even if this topic appears to be somewhat sensitive, Christians and Muslims seem to be understanding and accepting of each other's religion.
We have a church school here with it's a minority, but it's a very significant minority of Muslim children. And so when it is Eid, in school we will have an Eid party and all the children take part, just as when it's Christmas there'll be a Christmas party and all the children take part. And when we have our Christmas and Easter celebrations in church, all the children come, not just those who are from Christian families. Muslim children come, people of other faiths, no faith, they all come and join in the school celebration for those occasions. And we're very careful to celebrate those in a way that includes everybody as far as possible. It tells the story, but you're not obliged to be a believing Christian to be part of that celebration.
We are celebrating Easter, especially Good Friday. Of course, we have Good Friday. Every Friday is a Good Friday for us, because we have all people. They're going to mosque. They change the clothes and they congratulate each other for the Friday which they came. Therefore, we have about 54 Good Fridays a week. But yes, we integrate. We congratulate the Christians.
Within a population of over 150,000 inhabitants in Oxford, 48% identify as Christians, about 7% as Muslims, nearly 4% declare to be of other religions, and a third were said to be atheist. In Oxford, there are less and less Christians, while the Muslim population is increasing. On a wider scale, Islam is currently the second largest religion in the UK and in Europe.
Now, after an in-depth look at Islam, we are taking a look at Christianity because it was the Easter bank holiday last weekend. There were events all over Oxfordshire and it was full steam ahead for the visitors at Combe Mill on Easter Sunday.
The Victorian steam and the water-powered sawmill demonstrated the engines that are used to power the Bellingham Palace sawmills. Ep11 reports.
Water-powered sawmill and workshop of the old Blenheim Palace estate. This working industrial museum offers visitors a good insight into what work was like in Victorian times. Today, Easter Sunday, we spoke to Mike Hallam about this museum.
The original purpose of the mill and the coming of people to see us was to do with our beam engine and its boiler for producing the steam. Now, those date from the very early 1800s, and therefore you would have fanatics, if you like, or people who are very keen to look at steam and boilers, and of course the beauty is that when you go into the engine house, you have that wonderful aroma of hot oil, steam, and all of this buzzing around you. And they would come purely because of this aroma and the activity.
The mill runs entirely by unpaid volunteers. Many of them are retired engineers and craftsmen.
We are both wood turners. We have been working here quite a few years up here. We are wood turning demonstrators for Coombe Mill.
Well, basically we're only volunteers, so we just demonstrate blacksmithing to the best we can. All we do is make pokers, toasting forks, and try and help customers coming in, well, visitors, to make a poker.
Coombe Mill gives children a hands-on experience of the working lives in Victorian times. They can become a real blacksmith and make a mini poker. Also, children can investigate working models that use steam to drive machinery. We ask people what they have learned and what makes this place special for them.
I think really that they see history in action, but for a change it's not just history in terms of which kings and queens lived once upon a time, but they see how machines worked and how we got to use them, and that is the most exciting thing about this, I think.
I like the engines and the way they kind of make that constant noise of machinery. It's kind of satisfying. Learned about the history of it, and I've also learned how to make one of these.
Visitors were keen to see all the machinery working and learn about the physics behind it. In spite of the cold weather, about 100 people visited the museum today, and only the lucky ones found the Easter eggs. This is Eve den Boer, Brookes Television.
That's it for this half, but after the break we have an interview with Dr. Sheikh Ramzey, who represents the Muslim community in Oxford. We will be discussing community relations between Muslims, Christians and other faiths in this multicultural city.
Also still to come. I have been investigating about the link between chocolate and human psychology.
Oxford Brookes Futsal Club created a new world record for the longest futsal game. Welcome back. We have already taken a look at Islam in Oxford, and so joining us now is Dr. Sheikh Ramzey, Director of the Oxford Islamic Information Centre. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. What is the objective of the Oxford Islamic Centre?
Of course, as you can see, this is the Oxford Information Centre, and we give the information, special information center to the community and beyond, of course, from Oxford and Oxfordshire, to understand the real Islam, what a real Islam is, and of course, again, I have to stress in here, what you hear in television and radio and whatever, it is not a true Islam, and somehow, but we give the books, it's all free, books, leaflets, literatures, to understand the truth.
There's a great deal of mystery for some people in Islam. Do you invite people into the mosque and teach them about things like that?
Absolutely. We have many things, many entertainment or many events which we hold during the year. The biggest one, of course, in Oxford is we have a faith walk, which over 1,000 people come from all denominations. Muslim, majority is a Muslim, Christian, and Judaism, but of course from all denominations, from Hindus, from Sikhism, from the Baha'is, all they come and we walk together from the synagogue. We start, and after that we go to the church, St. Mary's Church, and after that we go to mosque and finish it with the many of course they get involved. The bishop comes. Sometimes we are trying to perhaps this time bring the archbishop as well to help. But of course this is a one, and of course we have many events for a better understanding between the Muslim and the Christian, as the Muslim and Christian and Judaism, which are called Abrahamic divine religion, they have about 85% similarity.
So you mentioned media. What sort of things do you do in the media to promote Islam and make people more aware of it?
It's dependent, of course, what they want us to do. We have many things which we put in internet. We have several websites, internet. Of course, we have radios, we have televisions, and of course we have several channels, Islamic channel, which they teach in Islam in the UK environment, and beautifully they go, of course, to integrate. It's very important we use these ones to integrate, of course, many subjects. It's not at the moment in the top of my mind say what we do, but many subjects. The subject of the day we talk about.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, sir. It's been lovely having you in the studio today. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Parking is always a big issue in Jericho. It can be very difficult to find spaces, but now the situation is worse than ever in Walton Street. Ellen Cho reports.
While living in Jericho are facing a new parking issue. 20 parking spaces will be lost for about 2 years in Walton Street and Worcester Place. We interviewed Jericho residents to talk about the impact on their daily life and how they plan to park when the normal parking spaces are closed.
The only thing I can do is park farther away. Because if there's not a space here, it would be very difficult carrying shopping, carrying children back to the house.
And we haven't been offered substitute parking spaces, so it's terribly worrying. Just makes ordinary daily life very, very difficult. I would probably get up early in the morning and look for a parking space and then let them park in my garage, but it would be a hunt to find one.
As the former Rusky College building will be demolished and later redeveloped by the Exeter College of Oxford University, parking space in adjoining streets have been suspended by the Oxford County Council from April 14th. Ward County Councillor Susanna Purcell is hoping more can be done to provide replacement parking space.
Now, there will be about 3 spaces lost on the other side of Walton Street and about 2 spaces just on this side of Walton Street. And then the other spaces, about 14 or 15, will be lost in Worcester Place. And so it's both sides of the road and just the top half of the road, basically. The replacement spaces will be obtained by removing some of the double yellow lines, which we don't need anymore, and we hope also to change some of the 24-hour spaces into spaces for residents only, and then there are some other small changes we can make. So I hope we can replace most of the spaces which are being lost.
Currently, the Oxfordshire County Council and certain residents have agreed to make some alterations to provide new parking space, but this has yet to be decided. Jie Zhou reports for BrookesTV.
We all love to eat chocolate. What is your favorite type of chocolate, Mandy?
Well, I don't really like white chocolate that much. I do prefer milk chocolate.
Well, the interesting question is, does the chocolate have an effect in our psychology? I went to the Oxford Choloclate Festival and found more. Oxford Choloclate Festival had took place on the 18th of April at the town hall. With a variety of chocolate types and kinds, people enjoy tasting different types of chocolate. These are some facts about chocolate. Chocolate is the food most commonly craved by women. Chocolate reduces the high risk of blood clots and fight the bad cholesterol. Chocolate is not highly caffeine. It contains less than coffee, tea, or other soft drinks. And the last important thing, chocolate does not cause acne. Food in general can change our emotion and feelings, but does the chocolate do that? I tried to find if there is a relation about human psychology and chocolate, so I head to the psychology department for Brookes University trying to find the answer, but no one accepted to be interviewed, so I decided to find about this topic by myself. I found a lot of research about the topic. Also, I contacted Professor Charles Spence from Oxford University, who is specialized in food psychology. In Spence's journal about airplane noise and the taste of umami, researchers found that loud noise affects our taste of food, and they found there is a direct relation between food and our feelings. I asked people whether chocolate has an effect on their feelings.
I feel like chocolate does have an effect on personal feelings because I normally have it when I'm stressed during my exams and everything, so that's when I crave chocolate the most.
I don't think that chocolate is going to help you when you are depressed or something.
Yeah, I think so. It makes you feel like happy, and I like it. I eat lots of it.
Feeling you put the chocolate in your mouth, that melting moment feels like really sensational.
I like chocolate because it makes me feel like I want lots and lots more. And my white chocolate does the most to me, and then dark chocolate does the least because it's like bitter.
There is a lot of research about human psychology and chocolate. Whatever science said, we all know that everyone loves chocolate. Mohammed Tamli for BrookesTV. Can I try some chocolate, please?
Certainly, young man.
Do you like playing football, Mo?
Well, yes, I like to play it, but I prefer to watch it on TV. I'm honestly looking for the World Cup, and I want Spain win it.
Yeah, I'm going to root for England, I think.
Yeah.
Well, futsal, adapted from football, is mostly played indoors on a small pitch. Oxford Brookes Futsal Club created a new world record for the longest futsal game. Our reporter, Ellen Cho, went to investigate.
From April 6 to 8, students from Oxford Brookes University have played for 45 hours continuously from Sunday evening until Tuesday afternoon, with 24 competitors playing in shifts at Oxford Brookes University Centre for Sports. The aim is to break the world record of the longest game of futsal, and players are confident to achieve this aim.
I'm really excited about it. It's something that I've never thought I'd ever do, trying to break a world record. We've been training for months now, and I hope we are at our peak for this.
I think I'll be top scorer.
I doubt that. I think I'll be top scorer. He might be second top scorer.
1, 2, 3, 4.
On the other hand, sponsorship and donations will go to Maggie's Oxford, a centre that provides information and support for cancer patients. We have interviewed one player's grandparents for their comments.
Well, it's fantastic. And the boys, different boys have picked different cancer charities, have got together and decided which cancer charity their contribution is going to.
As Captain Charlie states, the world record futsal marathon has so far raised about £5,000 for various charitable causes. During the match, we can clearly see that all players worked very hard. However, as a 45-hour futsal match marathon, it is a great physical challenge which rarely costs players energy. At the later stage, players seem exhausted, and some of them were not able to walk naturally, but they still look inspirational. Finally, Charlie's futsal team got 776 goals, and the Oxford Brookes Futsal clubs got 804 goals. Players from both teams were satisfied with their performance.
My performance overall, I think I did okay. I did my best, and hopefully I thought my best paid off. So.
It was tough though. Definitely not fit enough for it, but
yeah,
it was good. Good testing.
And it's not like an energy thing because you've got plenty of energy. It's just your legs feel.
Yeah, and it's
literally like they're made of stone. So yeah, it's crazy, but worth it.
Congratulations to Charlie, congratulations to the futsal and the Oxford Brookes Futsal Club for the longest ever futsal match, which should be entering the Guinness World Record in the next couple of months. BrookesTV reports.
And that's it for this week. Remember, you can view all previous episodes on the BrookesTV YouTube channel, which you can find at youtube.com/OxfordBrookes. And if you have a story that you want to contact us about, then you can send it to us at BrookesTV at brookes.ac.uk.
Thanks for watching, and remember to keep an eye on BrookesTV and stay tuned for next week's episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye.